And with me is Anna Zvagule, who is Vice Chair of the GLG, Greater London Group of the CIPR. Anna, welcome. Thank you very much for coming.
Hi, Guy. Thanks so much for having me.
No problem at all. You've been chair for, I believe, about 2 months, or maybe even less than that. So I'm going to give you a complete grilling on that because you're an expert by now. But first of all, tell us a bit about your background and how you came to be in the CIPR itself in the first place.
Absolutely. Thanks, Guy. So my background is all in higher education. So I started out in sort of student recruitment, moved on to do some events and communications eventually. Currently, I head up communications at London Higher, which is an organisation that represents over 50 universities in London. And also as a part of that, I joined the Greater London Group Committee and became vice chair.
Now that's interesting because many people will turn up to the odd meeting. They will, if they're interested in the subject, they won't necessarily get involved in committee level or indeed at volunteer level. What made you decide to get that bit more involved?
Well, Guy, I think I did originally come along to the occasional meeting, occasional drink and think, really sort of enjoyed it. And I kind of got really excited about the potential that the Greater London Group really has. We ended up doing a joint event between London Higher and the Greater London Group earlier in the year, got a chance to speak to some of the committee members, really felt that sort of welcoming atmosphere and also just the potential of what there is to do. So kind of became really interested and hoped that could contribute some of my experience with sort of events and comms as well to the committee.
And we're very grateful. But it's very early days for you as vice chair. Can you tell me a bit about what that actually is what that's involved so far and what you're hoping it'll involve in the coming year?
Absolutely. So I suppose the most important sort of part of the role is really deputising for the chair of the committee, which is Andy for us. But besides that, really what I try and do is essentially ensure that the committee is sort of focused so that we've got plans in place for sort of upcoming events, newsletters, social media, really kind of trying to work across the whole committee to do this. And I'm really excited also to be looking after our events this year. So I will be focusing on getting some great events out there that you can hopefully all get involved with, ensuring that we've got a plan in place and ensuring everything runs smoothly as well.
Well, that's terrific. My next question was going to be about aims for next year, but as you say, you're squarely in the event space, so you want to put that on. We have an event coming up with a third party. I know the event that's on the publicising and preservation of the Cockney culture. How should anybody else who's got an idea for an event, but it isn't necessarily directly part of the CIPR, how should they approach us?
Well, I think it's simple, Guy. I think, send us an email, a message on LinkedIn, other socials, get in touch, and we're always happy and open to looking at other prospective events and opportunities.
That's terrific. What do you think the GLG, Greater London Group specifically, what do you think the committee is actually for?
Well, I think the committee is really a vehicle for helping people in PR with their sort of career and personal development through the sort of events and the support that we can provide, encouraging chartership as well. I think the way that I see the committee is really us being there to help our sort of London members connect.
Now, one thing about Londoners, of course, is that we are often criticised. Now, I speak as one, and of course, a fellow committee member, but I speak as a Londoner. We are often criticised for assuming that London is the centre of the known universe and that all these other are just smaller regions. It's difficult because, in terms of concentration of public relations organisations, we might even have a case in London. How do you play that one? How do you avoid rubbing the other regions up the wrong way? And to what extent is there a plan to cooperate with the other regions in putting events together?
I think this is a bit of a hard question for me, Guy, because my day job is also so centered around London. But as a result of that, it's something that I do think about quite a lot as a result as well. So I think we've got to be humble. There are things that other groups and other regions do more sort of better than we do. So we can look to see, get some inspiration from those groups, work together, like you were saying as well, do some joint events, see how we can adapt different things that different regions do for London as well. I don't think it's all about London being the greatest in the Greater London Group. It's more about connecting people and that joint sort of sense of place.
Thank you. Finally, we've got a full committee at the moment. I believe we have every post filled, but there may well be people out there who, on hearing this and other interviews in this series, would very much like to get involved. How should they best get in touch with us, and what scope is there for getting involved during the year?
Well, like you said, Guy, I do think the committee is full for this year, but that doesn't mean that there aren't other opportunities to get involved with us. So, again, send us an email, reach out on social media. We're always happy to have a chat and keep the door open for future collaboration.
Anna, thank you very much for your time and have a great fun year as the Vice Chair in 2024. Thank you.
Thank you, Guy.